Welcome. In front of me is a OPPO Reno15 FS, and today I will share a couple tweaks and the tricks you can do on this device. These won't be anything special, truth be told, but maybe you will find something that you find interesting in here. So let's get started by beginning with the more interesting one, which would be this panel visible right here. You swipe up on it, which I failed. Let's try that again. There we go. We have smart sidebar. So here we have, just going to select get started, and this will show you this bar. Now in here we have already some applications, and we can add more by clicking on an edit. So we can add multiple different applications. Now there is a limit to how many you can add, but it's still pretty good. Now this list can be scrollable, and from there, once you have applications in here, you can access this panel when you have application open, you can see, and you can click on these applications, and if you click on them, it will open them up in a pop-up view like so, which you can edit in size. You can move to the side to kind of minimize it, and I can also split screen it if you want to, or move it right here to the top. Oh, I think I just fully closed it. Let's try it again. So I think we can, remember there was a way for us to kind of, okay, I guess I can do it. Oh, there we go. That's kind of what I was looking for. So there is a specific side you can kind of get it to be this small, and this isn't usable in this state. It's still visible and functional, but it won't, like, you can't interact with it. So that's one thing they can do. Another would be to maximize it by swiping down on it, and another one would be to, when you have this panel, you can hold one of these applications. So I'm going to again select Chrome, and you can see it starts to automatically split screen them. So you can move it up or down, and it will just drop the holding application at the top or bottom. And now I can use two applications at the same time, and I can still have that third application as a pop-up view, or pop-up window. And on top of that, in here, you have the three dots, so you can swap the orientation, you can full screen them, and so on. Unfortunately, there's no way for you to save this kind of layout, so have a single click to open both of them, so that's a bit crappy. But still, the fact that you can multitask in a relatively easy way and you have this sidebar is actually pretty good. Now, moving on to another thing that I wanted to show you is, let me just first close this. It's going to be the status bar, or not status bar, but notifications. So if you swipe from the left, you get, from the right, you get the toggles. From the left, you get the notifications. Now, personally, I hate this because it forces you to specifically swipe from whatever side to get one or the other. Before, that wasn't the case. We could just swipe at any point and we get both of them at the same time. This is what I prefer. So if we swipe down on the right side, here you can click on the three dots, select customize quick settings, and you can select classic here, which now combines both of these panels back into one. And while we're also talking about this, what we can do is go into the settings. We can navigate to notification, I think it is. Let me quickly check. Nope, not here. Is it this one? Oh, for God's sakes, where was it? Trying to find it, and I can't remember where the hell it was. I'm just gonna search for it. That's gonna be the easiest way. So you can see it's under home screen, lock screen, and style. So I did look in correctly, but just not all the way where it's supposed to be. So you can just search for swipe down on home screen. That's gonna be the option. And you can see it redirects us here. So by default, when you swipe down on home screen at any kind of point, so you can swipe down like here or lower, just on the home screen, it gets you global search. So just to kind of bring that up, this is our global search. Now if we go back in here, we can change it to the OPPO shelf, which looks like this. So it's just kind of like a accumulation of a couple different widgets and notifications sometimes and other things. So that's another one. And the last one, which is my go-to option, it's the notifications and quick settings. So now I no longer need to go all the way to the top to swipe down and get my notifications and toggles. So a single swipe at any point and I get all of it. Just, to me, pretty handy. You can see, you can swipe pretty damn low to get your notifications and toggles. So it makes it much more manageable, I would say. Now if we go back into the settings and move back into the home screen and style, here we have a general section for customizing our device. One of the nice things here is the first kind of theme selection. It has pretty nice themes. I genuinely like how they look like. So you can pick one of them. You can also download more. I might have Wi-Fi disabled, so I won't be able to download more, but at the bottom you have view online themes, so you can basically get more. But this one honestly is one that I really like, so I'm gonna select it. Now we can select, I think not apply, but actually click on it. Yep, we need to click on it, there we go. And you can see this gives us ability to edit it. Now, neat thing here is that it smartly detects what's a foreground and background on the wallpaper that is being used right now. This isn't part of this specific kind of like wallpaper that it's part of this theme. You can set other wallpapers and it will automatically do this kind of effect right here, which you can see, where it cuts the mountain into the time. So this is done automatically by the device, which is pretty nice. Now keep in mind, if you increase it too much in size, as you can see, it automatically moves the clock above it, because I mean, if most of the clock is covered, what's the point of it, right? So you might sometimes experience this, though. On the Pro version of this device, I did also experience that that didn't want to happen. So I literally could expand this mountain, cover the time fully, and it was just continuously behind it. So there was something off there, but in here it works fine, like you would expect it to. So it's a cool little option. And you can also see this is our home screen wallpaper. Not much to do here, though. You have things like colors and other things that you can edit right here. But I'm just going to keep it as it is and select apply. Now below that, if we start scrolling down, we have always on display. So navigating in here, you can enable always on display, and that gets us this clock to be used by default, but you can choose other ones. Though to be fair, there is not much to choose from. Could be that you need to connect the network to download more. Now, one more thing that I want to point out, always on display by default is not always on. It's a 10-second at a time on. So what we can do is navigate to display settings, and right somewhere, where was it? Should be here. Okay, that's interesting. So it looks like there is no option to have always on display, always on in here. Oh, come on, what are you doing? The reason I'm kind of getting agitated by this, the non-pro version of it has the options, the FS doesn't. They're all technically the same damn device. So limiting functions for the fucking sake of limiting functions is such a cunt move. In any case, what we can do is, for instance, toggle on the notification so it lights up the display when you're getting new notifications. Though, more specifically, lights up always on display. So that's pretty neat. But anyway, let's move on. This just kind of annoys me. And in here we have fonts, icons, which if you download more, they will show up in there, which there's a lot of icons already in here that you can choose from to change the look. And other than that, let's see, lock screen settings, we don't have too much. So anyway, let's move on. And under the display, we have some more options. So we have a light, dark mode, along with schedule and dark mode settings. Now, obviously, you can select whichever one you want, or you can have it based on a schedule to switch between light to dark. But I don't want to talk about specifically dark mode settings. So if you enable dark mode right now, and I'm gonna increase the living hell out of exposure, and by the looks of it, also need to clean my display. There we go. So you can kind of faintly see there is a little bit of a border around these options that is a little bit less dark, let's call it this way. So if we go into the dark mode settings, you can see we have several different versions of it. So we have the enhanced. Now this one has the most kind of darkness into it. We have the medium, which makes the background here a little bit more gray, more visible, while keeping the black right here just fully black. And then gentle, which makes it all kind of gray, as you can see. Now keep in mind, I am overexposing the hell out of this image right now, so what you can see right here, for me it's not as gray, it's a bit darker to me than it is on your end. I'm just purposefully making this visible so you can see the changes clearly. So if I had to adjust this, I would probably say that it's, to me, something along, I think, even less. Something along the lines of this. That's kind of close to how it looks like to me. Yep, that's about close. Now with the dark one, it's kind of hard to see the borders on the camera, but I can still faintly see them. Now let me just readjust it to get rid of all the overexposures. So I'm talking about this because number one, it gives you a little bit of customization for the dark mode, but it also does something else that isn't really mentioned here. So depending on which mode you choose, you might have different battery consumptions. Now light mode in general will have the highest battery consumption with always on, or with a screen on specifically. So when you're using the device, that will consume the most amount of it, because there's just a lot of brightness that needs to be pushed to the device. Every pixel is always on because it's light. While in dark mode, this device is using AMOLED display, so pixels that are fully black, like the ones right here all around, are actually just not even on right now. So the device doesn't need to push energy to them, so the display drains less power. Now, depending on which one you choose, that obviously changes. With this one, the blackness is still just kind of fully black, so it is off. But for instance, the gray area right here around, which again you can kind of see right now, these on the other hand side will consume energy because it is now lit up, but it's faintly lit up. And this changes even further, obviously, if you go with this one, as now the entire screen is actually lit up. This portion right here is now gray, more like, so it is receiving energy because it does need to light up the pixels. So that will obviously reduce your battery life compared to like the darkest version of it. So just know that when you're picking this, it might have an impact, but no matter which one you pick from the dark mode will always have a better battery life over the light mode. Now let's go back to light mode, as this is just better for camera, at least I find it, and move on. Now we have things like color schemes and adaptive tones. I'm mentioning both of them in the same kind of sentence because adaptive tones automatically adjust the tint of the display based on the current lighting of the room that you're in, or the area that you're in. So if I toggle it on, it might turn a little bit yellowish because of the lights that I have right here. This is very subtle, so you might not see it on the camera. But with this being on, if I go into color scheme mode, you can see that the color temperature is now unavailable to me. So I cannot edit this at all. If I turn that off, I actually can. And I can move it manually, so I can literally adjust this myself. Now this is like exaggerated versions of picking these colors. Now additionally, you also have the saturation of the display with standard and natural. They are very close to each other. There's like almost no difference, so it doesn't really matter which one you choose. Whichever one you prefer, that's the one that you can pick. I barely can tell a difference between them, so I'm not even going to talk about it. But the tint I can see, and honestly I like it a little bit warmer, so I'm going to enable the adaptive tone. That gets me the warmer tones usually for me. And if I am in a coldly kind of lit environment, then it will adjust to that. Now let's continue on to notifications and quick settings. Here we have the status bar settings. Now it has been cut down a little bit for some stupid reason, but it's still nice that it's giving us some options in here. So let's navigate, and in here you can basically toggle off some of the things that will be visible right here, and also notifications. So Personally, on my phone, I always have Bluetooth enabled, so that can be completely gone. I don't care to see that in my status bar. NFC for me is always enabled as well. And there are other things that I would like to get rid of, but we no longer can on here, like Wi-Fi, for instance, cellular connection. Those you could previously get rid of. For instance, on like OnePluses, which it's one big parent company. They have the same kind of OS, but it was possible. And for some reason it's no longer present in here, so that's a little bit of a shame. What you can also do is change, like I said, the notifications right here, so we can change it to a number or just not show them at all. I personally like the number. It summarizes how many notifications you have, making it much cleaner. And lastly is the battery right here that I can customize. So we have right now the horizontal one, the default. We have vertical, loop, and don't show. Now I want to point out that the battery percentage that is inside of the battery is only inside of the battery for the horizontal. For every other option, it's obviously going to be outside of it. I mean, obviously for don't show, it couldn't be inside of anything, but for the loop and vertical, it's going to be outside. So it's going to take actually more space. And I think that basically sums up everything that I wanted to show. So anyway, if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.